So thank you everyone for joining us again. In case you didn't know, but I think you do know, we've opened expressions of interest for the next cohort, which will focus on the EVM-compatible FVM. So we're looking for people that want to build use cases on that or port over use cases from their current Solidity or Ethereum contracts in the ecosystem. So if you do know anyone that might be interested in participating or, is part of our ecosystem and is maybe a Solidity developer, please let them know about that. That would be great. I know Eva's been fleshing out the native FVM RFPs as well to make kind of some more guidance on what we're looking for to build out on the native FVM, which is going to run in parallel, as you guys already know. And I think Wallaby Testnet is close to being launched as well. That's pretty much all I have in terms of updates. So is there anything else that you wanted to, that you think people need to be updated on, Raúl, before you get started?
No, I think you covered the basics pretty well. So I'll just move on with a tech update here. There's two main things that I wanted to announce to this community. On the one hand, here's the incremental delivery plan for the milestone 2.1. So that would be FEVM. We've picked a naming scheme for these that is inspired by the Mohs mineral scale, the Mohs scale of mineral hardness. So basically, this kind of like emulates and simulates the FEM and FEVM getting more maturity and becoming richer and richer and denser in functionality as we move forward. The first release is called Talk. So this maps to the value 1 in the scale. And basically what we're aiming to do here is get a basic EVM. So the prototype for the EVM for FEVM already exists, and we're getting it merged all the way through into Lotus so that people can start deploying very simple contracts. These are going to be, at this stage, there are several key parts that haven't been implemented yet. So for example, the addressing scheme that is going to allow EVM smart contracts to access other EVM smart contracts and address other smart contracts in a way that is going to be recognized by the Filecoin network. And it's going to also allow transactions that were issued from wallets, pre-existing wallets like MetaMask whose receiving address, for example, was computed by using a key that is being held in custody in the wallet. It's going to allow the addressing scheme that we're designing. There's going to be some notes posted on that later this week. It's going to allow for ideally reusing Ethereum addresses within the Filecoin system without the need. We're aiming to introduce this feature, and this is like one of the improvements that Filecoin introduces over the status quo of other chains that are trying to kind of like adopt and are adopting the EVM as well. They tend to like be a little bit, I would say, cumbersome because they tend to have like a bridge, a registry in the middle, and the interaction with EVM smart contracts, deploying smart contracts tends to be a little bit cumbersome because it always has to like go through this bridge, and kind of like this bridge always serves as a translation layer. And in Filecoin, we're aiming to simplify and just have EVM smart contracts run flat in the same sort of like hierarchical space as every other actor in the system. And this also implies solving for the addressing model, and doing so, providing an addressing scheme that over time is going to allow us to also add schemes for other chains whose runtimes we might want to support in the FEM. So that's one of the things that's happening. So just to rewind a little bit here and pop the stack again, we're aiming to release a version that is called Talk, and this is going to allow us for now to run smart contracts within the FEM without the ability to address other and call other contracts on chain. So basically just simple self-contained contracts. We're also adding this week support for the different hash functions that are available through precompiles in the Ethereum network, so that smart contracts that have been ported directly from Ethereum into the Filecoin network that are using those precompiles would be able to run on the network seamlessly. So that's basically what's up. And one of the things as well that we're working at right now is the delivery plan as well for the actual network upgrade. So of course, everybody is interested in knowing, yeah, it's great that this work is happening, but when can I actually deploy a smart contract, an EVM smart contract on mainnet? And this is the question that everybody wants to answer. And it's also important for us because there's many initiatives that tie into specific dates in that delivery plan. So working through the plan, we're looking our current projections for finishing the engineering work of FEVM, puts us in a due date of around mid-November, and taking this into account and kind of like all the work that needs to happen for a network upgrade, and especially for this particular release, because it's going to be the first one that introduces programmability in the network, which means that there's a ton of new dimensions that we need to test for. So it's not kind of like, your traditional, it's not going to be your traditional for people who are in this call who also run storage providers and are familiar with the upgrade mechanics. This is a whole different beast. It's not just about running the network through Butterfly and through Calibration Net, which are kind of like the two milestones during a network upgrade, and just performing tests and making sure that everything is good, that storage providers can mine, that storage clients can make deals in the network. Is not just about that. This release is adding an entire new feature set to the Filecoin network. So we're going to be launching an incentivized testnet, very likely, in calculating kind of like understanding. So this is going to emulate a little bit of like, for those who have been in the Filecoin network, participating in the Filecoin network since early days, this is going to be somewhat similar in spirit to Space Race originally. So that was also an incentivized testnet. Of course, this is going to have many different schemes that are going to reward different aspects. So things, obviously, security is one big chapter in all of this, but also getting people to deploy contracts, experiment, get their hands dirty, experiment with FEVM, and also build upon other solutions and call across contracts and a bunch of other things are likely things that we're looking to promote as potential incentives in this testnet. So that's likely going to run for 6 weeks. So if you add Butterfly, incentivized testnet, and calibration net, and then you look at kind of like what's happening in the world as well during those times. Well, there is Christmas, and later on in the year there is Chinese New Year as well, the preparation for Chinese New Year, and kind of like the fact that we also want to reserve a buffer after the release, where key operators in the network and key and core devs and everybody is available in case we need to ship another network upgrade following that one. We want to reserve a buffer of like high availability, taking all of the like world events and all the unavailabilities into account. This puts us, if we deliver the engineering plan by the end by mid-November, and we start the incentivized testnet or the Butterfly trajectory, which then evolves into this incentivized testnet by then, this would put us into likely an upgrade by February 2023. So this is, as I said, a very special feature of the network. It is the first time that we're introducing user programmability in the network, and the upgrade path for this, which is very exciting, but the upgrade path for a feature like this, which introduces a number of dimensions to the Filecoin network and the operations and the mechanics of it, it is a much more complex upgrade than any other upgrade that we've done in the past, and this is taking into account M1. So M1 is the one. So the FEM, let's not forget, it's already running in mainnet, and that was already quite a complicated one. But at the end of the day, it did not introduce changes in the dynamics of the Filecoin network at all. It was just a change in the execution environment. In this particular case, there's new dimensions that are being opened. So that's what warrants the more thoughtful and prolonged testing period for this one, which includes, of course, participation from everybody in the community and new communities that are going to be wanting to get the hands on FEVM as soon as they're able to test it out in an incentivized testnet. in parallel with all of this, we're gonna be starting. Wallaby is likely gonna be the site of deployment for both the native version, which is what's currently gonna on track for being deployed on Wallaby very soon. But also it's gonna hold the FEVM release itself. So Wallaby will be for now the testnet where we keep delivering these incremental updates, as you can see in that incremental plan that I posted in the Zoom chat. Which, by the way, the talk release is specified here, and the scope you can see it there as well. So that's going to be, as we keep making new incremental releases, they're going to be deployed in the Wallaby testnet. We may need to bifurcate this testnet going forward if like they're moving in different directions and things are getting muddied, because there's two different cohorts of people, some of which are building on native and others who are building on FEVM, and like something gets fuzzy in the middle, we will bifurcate these testnets. But for now, we don't see the need. So that's the update from my end. I think I ran a little bit over those 5 minutes, but it was a meaty one.